Welcome back to On the Beat, everyone. I'm your host, Rachel Hurt, and today we're going to talk with our friend Patrick Wooten of Richard Schwartz Associates law firm. He's back to do a little Q&A with us on personal injury lawyers.
Yes.
Welcome back.
So good to be back.
I'm glad to have you.
Thank
glad
you.
to have you. Our viewers have sent in some questions.
Love the viewers.
I do too, right?
Yep.
And they make this segment really interesting because
They do.
they've got some really good questions this time. I'm just going to fire away. The first one is, do I have a case?
Yep.
How do you determine that?
Boy, that's such a good question. And people call us up all the time and say, I had this wreck, I'm sure I don't have a case. It's so many layers to go through. How did it happen? Where did it happen? As we've talked about in other shows, is there insurance out there? So the key to that is always looking at the accident report. So that's what we've talked many times on the program. Always, always, always call the police. It doesn't matter if it's a minor fender bender or if it's a catastrophic accident. Always get the police out there because they're an independent party to be able to investigate, to get all the information that's needed. But we generally start with what the potential client tells us, then look at the accident report and go from there.
Okay. The next question they ask, and I'm sure you get this one right after the first one, how much is my case worth? Yes,
that's 1B in the questions. And that there's about 5 factors that come into that one. One, again, is who's at fault. You know, because if you're at fault, we're certainly not going to be able to make a collect for you. A, as we talked about previously, how much insurance? You could have $1 million case, but unfortunately there may only be $25,000 or $100,000 of insurance, so that has a direct impact on it. The injuries and how much your medical bills tie into the value of the case, as well as if you had to miss time from work. The fourth one is, do you have a permanent impairment? You know, are you back to doing everything you can, or is this going to be a lifelong injury? And then the fifth one, which most people don't realize, is venue. In Mississippi, where did it happen? You know, in Lowndes County, the value of a car wreck case may be different than Tupelo County, which is certainly going to be different from Lee County.
Why
is
that?
It's just the makeup of what would be on the jury panel, and you look at the historical values of the case. So, you know, it's funny, insurance companies, because I've seen these personally, as well as attorneys, we all have maps, red, yellow, green counties. You know, which one is more injured person friendly, which one's more insurance company friendly, and which one's kind of middle of the road. And it really just depends on the geographic makeup of the population in that county.
Interesting. I always just assumed changes of venue were due to maybe the case being too sensitive or hitting home too close for that area. I didn't think about that though. All right, third question. How long is my case going to take?
Another great question. So a lot depends on, it all ties into treatment. That's what I tell people from day one. You've got to get well. You know, we don't want to rush you getting well. We want you to get back to where you can dance and fish and hunt and go cheer on the Bulldogs or Rebels or the Golden Eagles, whoever your team may be first. So let's get you healthy, then we'll go through it. But traditionally, it's gonna be a year, give or take. If it's a typical automobile accident where you've gone to the emergency room and had to have some continuing care, if you only had to go to the emergency room, it certainly should go, you know, quicker than that. And if it's a catastrophic injury, of course, or litigation has to transpire, it's gonna be much longer than that.
Okay, last question, and it's a doozy.
Yeah.
How much is it going to cost me to hire Richard Schwartz Associates?
You know, that's the great thing. It doesn't cost you a dime. You call us up, you hire us, you're not paying any money on the front end. We only recover the money we outlay in expenses and earn our attorney's fee when we successfully collect for you, whether that be settlement or whether that be a trial verdict. So you're not laying out any money to contact us and to have a team of 140 people working for you from day one to ensure that we're zealously fighting for you to get you everything you're entitled to.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's really great information. Thank you so much for sharing all that with
my
us.
pleasure. Great questions.
Well, we got great viewers. If you have more questions, please send them in to us. Patrick loves to answer them. And if you have questions about how Richard Schwartz Associates can help you, all the information's there on the screen. Get in touch with them, let them help you, and we'll be back after this short break.